This is the CaribWorld News. I am Clifton James. The physical and emotional mistreatment of elderly, many of whom may or may not be suffering from early signs of Alzheimer's disease, is of great concern for the Grenada Association of Retired Persons, GARP. Maudlin Williams, a long-standing member of GARP, said the moral values of respect for senior citizens are declining as generation gap widens, and as such, the elderly in Grenada are increasingly being subjected to mistreatment and even physical abuse in some cases. Williams is disheartened to see that even senior citizens without any degenerative brain diseases still suffer from abuse and neglect from the younger generation, coupled with having to face the lack of respect and patience needed to interact with them. In Trinidad, real-time information provided to the police services' operational command centres has resulted in the successful suppression of crime and carnival epicentres this year. In a media release, the police said that with the deployment of the GPS and drone technology, officers were strategically placed, actively monitored and quickly coordinated to respond to all emergencies. The drones have been monitoring banned routes to ensure each area remains secure during Carnival 2020. Patrols have been strategically placed, been fed to command centres. Still in Trinidad, despite almost being injured and even killed, masquerader Natasha Jones thanked the authorities at the Port of Spain General Hospital for the treatment she received on Carnival Tuesday. She said of her carnival experience, it was prematurely curtailed when her costume got caught on a truck that dragged her for a short distance. Her shoulder was fractured and she suffered a gash over her eyes. I managed to struggle out while moving. And let me tell you, the amazing support from strangers, friends, doctors, ambulance and her sister Giselle. Natasha said she was treated royally at the Port of Spain General Hospital and is making a good recovery. The coronavirus is spreading in the Middle East, Europe and other parts of the world as Brazil confirmed its first case in Latin America, while parts of China begin to lower their emergency response level as the number of new cases reported there continues slowly. More deaths have been reported in Iran and Italy, while South Korea on Wednesday said an 11th person had died of the disease there. Globally, at least 80,000 people have been diagnosed with the illness. At least 22 evildoers have been killed in clashes between Burundi's security forces and an armed group near the capital Bujumbura, according to police. The fighting on Sunday in the hills of western Bujumbura rural province also killed 2 police officers, police spokesman Pierre Nurukai said late on Tuesday. The violent aftermath of the last president election in 2015 made Burundi a focus of an investigation by the International Criminal Court for alleged murder, rape, torture and disappearances. The government denies the accusations. Civil unrest, however, killed hundreds of people and drove 400,000 from their homes. The death toll in India's worst religious violence in decades has risen to 24, as Indian police have been accused of looking the other way while Muslims and their properties were targeted. A mosque was set on fire in the Indian capital on Tuesday by Hindu mobs as several Muslim-populated areas in the city were attacked during 3 days of violence, which were triggered after attacks against sit-ins against a new citizenship law. Muslims say the Citizenship Amendment Act is part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hindu supremacist agenda, and it is against the country's secular ethos. Australia is investigating more than 50 alleged war crimes by the country's special forces in Afghanistan, including the killing of civilians and prisoners, a military watchdog said on Tuesday. An annual report by the Inspector General of the Australian Defence Force said 55 separate incidents were being investigated as part of a 5-year long-term probe into allegations Australian soldiers committed war crimes while serving in Afghanistan. These relate mainly to unlawful killings of persons who were non-combatants and were no longer combatants, as well as cruel treatment of persons, the report said. The inquiry is not focused on decisions made during the heat of battle, it added. That was the CaribWorld News. I am Clifton James. For local flights, contact CaribJet 439 4444 or caribjet.com.